everyone, and welcome to another video. I'm the Hermit Tarot, and in today's video we're going to be doing a guidance reading. Now, I will be taking suggestions for love readings because it's been a few weeks. It's probably been over a month at least since I've done a love reading. So please put comments down below in terms of suggestions of what you would want from me. I am considering doing a "Is this relationship worth repairing?" reading. That way it's not just love, it can be about romance and platonic connections. If that's something that you would like, please let me know. And if you see a comment or a suggestion in the comment section of something that you want to see, be sure to like it. The more likes that a comment gets, the more popular I'm going to see it as. And although I do like to do random readings from time to time, it is a majority wins type of situation. So be sure to like the comments that you want to see, as you're essentially voting for that suggestion. With all of that being said, today's reading, as I said, is a guidance reading, and I'm going to be asking Spirit, what do you need to hear right now? I don't know how many groups to do. I'm hearing the words 4 and 5. I'm going to do my best to make these readings precise but concise. So although each group will have a lot of information, I'm aiming for them to be about 20-25 minute readings with extended readings focusing on the next 30 days. So we'll talk more about your extended readings once we're in each of your groups. Let's have a look at what your groups will be. I'll be shuffling this Arcana of Astrology deck, and it is an oracle deck. We'll pull a card for each of the groups. If you want to skip the shuffling, check the timestamps in the description box. Spirit, please tune me into the collective energy of those who chose to watch this reading. Please help me to offer this collective the most clear, honest messages about what they need to hear right now. Which of these cards contains the most honest messages for group 1, please, Spirit? Which of these cards contains the most honest messages for group 1? For group 1, we have Saturn coming out. Which of these cards contains the most honest messages for group 2, please, Spirit? For group 2. Okay, for group 2, we have the second house coming out. What about group 3, please, Spirit? Group 3 has the ascendant coming out. What about group 4, please, Spirit? Group 4. Group 4 has the 6th house coming out, and we're actually going to leave it there. Okay. So let's move these cards over. We'll center it all. I'm going to zoom you in and have a look at the 4 groups, sweet souls. Each of the groups has an astrological planet, placement, or house. And they also have colors in this deck that associate with each of these astrological planets, placements, or houses. Saturn over here is also connected to the signs Aquarius and Capricorn. The second house is also connected to the sign of Taurus. Ascendant can be associated with the first house and Aries. 6th house is associated with Virgo. If you need more time to observe these cards or to intuitively select a group that you feel most drawn to, pause the video now and give yourself as much time as you need. I will also include my 1-minute meditation, which is guided and aimed at connecting you to your intuition. If you need that guided meditation, it will play right after this clip. But as I've been saying, when you know where to go, check the timestamps in the description box or the pinned comment and join me in your reading. So the first thing I want you to do with me is to take in 2 deep, mindful breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Now I want you to focus on clearing your mind. It's natural to have thoughts racing at this point. I want you to embrace each thought as it comes and let it slip as quickly as it came in. Focus on clearing and balancing out these thoughts so that they come and go without a desire to be attached to them. And now, with a rested mind, I want you to think of the first group that comes to your mind. It may be a number, it may be an object that I showed you. It could be a specific color, it could be a feeling that you felt when I showed you each of the groups today. When you are ready and when you feel confident, select your group and join me in your reading. Hi my group ones and those of you who chose the Saturn card. We are asking Spirit today, what do you need to hear right now? This is a guidance reading and it's not so much a prediction reading as it is a energy reading. We're tuning in to see what messages come through for you. It is quite general in that respect, but I'm going to do my best to get concise, clear, and precise messages. So I highly recommend that you journal during this reading, take notes of what resonates, and make a little list of what doesn't resonate right now, as it may resonate later. Now, with that being said, there is going to be an extended reading as well. I will talk more about that at the end, but essentially your extended reading is focusing more on the next 30 days. And it's going to be a lot more relevant at the end of this reading. So let's open your reading by doing a quick connection between you, me, and my spiritual team. Spirit, please tune me into my Group 1's energy. Please connect me to the Group 1 collective so that I may offer them the most clear, honest messages about their reading. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so having a look at Saturn. Group 1, I feel like what you need to hear right now has a lot to do with the karmic cycles that you're in. It's very important that during this reading we try to understand why. I do think that you guys may be working very, very hard, or you may be feeling the pressure of your responsibilities. And this reading is going to aim at shedding light on why you've been working so hard, on why you've been feeling so much pressure, and on why all of this is kind of necessary. I feel like we may get a glimpse at what lies ahead and at what your effort is contributing towards, but there's a lot of emphasis on why the actions that you are taking are very, very important right now. Saturn's energy can feel quite heavy. It is a very heavy planet, and that's in terms of astronomy as well. In astrology, it is a planet of karma. It is a planet of cycles. It is a planet that often feels like it's punishing us before it rewards us, because it's teaching us the hard way. And if you resonate with this in any way, this guidance reading is going to help you understand why you're going through this and essentially what is on the other side. Your spiritual team wants you to know that the efforts that you're contributing are vastly impacting the future that you create for yourself. Now is not the time to slacken off. As tired as you may feel and as rewarded as you may feel, there is more success that lies ahead if you can continue to feed effort and energy towards your goals. I do see Saturn as, although it feels like a punishment, a reward system. And this kind of reward system acknowledges hard work. You can't cut corners with Saturn. You can't cheat. You can't sort of talk your way out of it. You have to put in the physical effort. And I do believe that your spiritual team really wants you to stay true to the integrity of the goals that you've set for yourself and to the integrity of your character. Now is not the time to compromise, to sacrifice, or to try to take the easy way out. So let's pull some tarot cards to enlighten us as to what this is all about. Spirit, having a look at this Saturn energy, what do you want my group ones to hear right now? What do you want my group ones to hear right now, please, Spirit? Okay, we have the Hierophant coming out first. As a tarot card, the Hierophant is all about structure. There's an energy here of little efforts leading to bigger successes. And your spiritual team is saying, don't be afraid to ask for help or advice. Somebody may be mentoring you, or you may be in a position where you're able to share knowledge with peers or with people going through similar processes. For some of you, this is your calling to become a teacher of some sort and to share the level of wisdom and skills that you have. Your insights are profound, is what Spirit is saying. The cycle that you're in is one of student-teacher and then teacher-student. So if you feel like you're still learning, then you're still the student. But you also need to be reminded that technically, no matter how smart we get, we're always learning. You guys may be at the point where you have valuable wisdoms and insights that you can share with other people. You need to hear right now that your routine should be your priority. Big changes don't always happen overnight. They happen through small actions consistently over a period of time. The Hierophant is encouraging you to stay true to a routine that works, especially if you're seeking changes to your material lifestyle. If you guys are feeling very focused and motivated towards long-term success, material upgrades, and increase in your income stream, that's what I was trying to say, then this is how you do it, by finessing your routine. And the Hierophant is reminding me of the 5 and 2 routine in a 7-day period. You can't work 7 days straight. That's not feasible for long-term success. You have to have some days off, and you have to use your days off as opportunities to recharge and rest. Yeah, that's interesting actually. There's a lot of earth energy out here now. The Hierophant is mostly associated with Taurus, and we know with Saturn that we have some Capricorn and Aquarius placements here. Together, this is very workhorse energy. But even a workhorse needs a break. And the Hierophant is encouraging you to follow through with any plans that you've made to take care of yourself, whether it was self-care or health care. Take care of yourself. Routine checkups, I'm hearing. Stay on top of those. They're important. The other thing about this card is the number 5 that sits at the top. Your spiritual team are highlighting that this number is very significant to you as a group. It is the number of change. And as we transition through changes, we do naturally feel certain challenges arise. And we also notice certain opportunities. I feel that although consistency is king for you, these changes and opportunities are hinting at ways that your evolution can continue to expand. Your spiritual team seems to be very convinced that you guys are very resilient beings. My group ones, Saturn and the Hierophant, not only are you workhorses, but you're quite resilient. To be able to take this amount of pressure means that you handle a lot more than the average person. And although you're very good at processing these challenges, your spiritual team wants to remind you to stay open to opportunities. Sometimes things don't need to be so difficult. Sometimes they are blessings. There is no disguise. Now, there is an opportunity that's showing up here as something that needs consideration. We can't just jump at it blindly. There is fear over it happening too quickly or it being too good to be true. Spirit, what is this opportunity? We're being shown the 9 of Cups. This opportunity is associated with directions for your emotional fulfillment. Doing something that feels like a wish come true. Having the chance to plan and prepare for something that feels like a wish come true. And they're showing me doors opening. You guys need to hear that now is the time to think big and to really commit to the next step. It's interesting because there is a level of conviction that is needed within your energy in order for you to start experiencing the certainty that you want before you actually commit yourself. You have to have a level of faith energetically, and you have to commit yourself to this energetically in order to gain the tangible clarity that you want. And I hope that makes sense. But in this situation, you guys are being shown that a wish fulfillment is possible if you commit yourself energetically by scheming, putting plans in place, getting excited, doing your research, cultivating a checklist, a step-by-step of what is next for you if you pursue this, when you pursue this. Spirit's correcting me because they're correcting you on the language you use when you talk about your ambitions and your dreams. Be optimistic. Be affirmative. Use language that affirms that this can happen and it will happen. Not maybe, not I wish, not one day, but tomorrow, next week, this year, when I do have. Affirmative action, affirmative language. The interesting thing about this is that it's not just how you talk, it's how you write and it's how you talk to others. It sounds silly and you may come across as someone that's very keen and zealous, but it's the right energy that you need in order to see the tangible results that you want as well. This affirmative language leads to affirmative action. And you don't look silly. You look excited. That kind of behavior and communication positively rubs off on people in a inspirational way. And if it does give somebody a negative energy, then that's on them, because all you're doing is affirming your own goals. So them having a negative experience is none of your business, in that it's not your responsibility to correct how they feel. I really think that a wish fulfillment is possible, and you can gain confirmation that this is possible before the end of 2024 if you're able to follow through and commit yourself to the next level. Committing yourself to the next level, what does that look like, Spirit? What does that look like for my group ones? The card that chose to fall out is still not revealed. Let's flip it. The Chariot reversed with the Queen of Pentacles at the back of the deck. In order to experience this success and this wish fulfillment, you guys do need to consider what fears you have. There is an energy here of managing your money, managing your expectations, and managing your responsibilities. There are some fears that are quite practical and helpful. These fears are things that we can troubleshoot and navigate with practical efforts and practical plans. And then there are other fears that are connected to experiences from our past, which are not helpful or practical, because although they offer wisdom and insight, they don't really offer a clear prediction of what is going to happen. So there is an energy here with the Chariot reverse of measuring the helpfulness of your fears as you navigate this leveling up experience. Change naturally incites fear. That's a part of us being a surviving species on this planet. Our fears served a place, but now with the consciousness that we have, we can determine whether this fear is helpful or whether it's unhelpful. And another way of looking at it is rational or irrational. But I don't want you to dismiss your fear. I want you to embrace it. Your spiritual team is encouraging you to take time to understand your fear, to decipher your fear, and to discern your fears. Now, with the Chariot reversed, there is a tangible blockage in your plans moving forward that needs to be addressed around expectations and family obligations. Now, this may not apply to all of you, but I'm seeing a family obligation standing in the way of you being able to take something to the next level, taking a commitment to the next level. You feel like you still owe somebody else something. You're being encouraged to have an honest heart-to-heart conversation with that family member or that person who feels like a family member. Discuss this obligation, discuss this blockage, discuss your wish fulfillment, your hopes, your dreams, and discuss why it is important to you. The Hierophant talks about committing yourself to something from a sense of value. If this is important to you, it is also connected to your values, and whoever cares for you and respects you as a Queen of Pentacles would, will be able to understand where you're coming from. In this, with this logic, I should say, no blockage is too great, and this Chariot being reversed will not last. That is the advice on how to continue to get the ball rolling. Is there any other closing advice or information you have for my group 1 spirit before we go into their extended reading? What else do they need to hear right now? The card that chose to fall out is the Moon reversed. Your closing information is definitely advice. The Moon reversed is following on that conversation with your about your emotions and your fears, but it's also indicating that by communicating, by talking about how you feel, you'll be identifying subconscious feelings and fears. Because you've been holding back and withholding, you haven't had the chance to fully process your feelings and fears. And by choosing to communicate with somebody who you trust and love, or just trust, maybe love doesn't have to be a part of it, by choosing to communicate with someone that you trust, you're giving your brain and your emotional being the chance to process how you truly feel. You'll uncover the truth, and these blockages, once they're identified, will feel a lot less scary. The best way to move forward is by communicating how you feel and identifying some of these subconscious, emotional, I want to say blockages, but they're honestly helpful fears. They're there to show you what's important to you, and they're there to show those around you what's important to you. And when your heart is in the right place with this wish fulfillment, you can't technically do anything wrong. There may be additional little steps required, but you can still have this leveling up experience that you deserve. That is what I'm seeing for you, my group 1s. That has been the message that you need to hear right now. If you feel called to, you may have messages in other groups, but I'm going to take this into your extended reading where we will have a look at the next 30 days. Now, if the first part of your reading has been helpful and you have the means to be able to support this channel, support what I do, and gain those additional messages, the link to your extended reading is in the description box and the pinned comment. That link takes you to a page on my website where I host each group's extended readings. So double check before you spend any money that you've selected the right group. Remember, your group 2 of the What Do You Need to Hear Right Now reading that I posted probably in October, if not November 2024. We'll see how my energy goes. It's been an absolute pleasure to read for you, my group ones. I appreciate... Did I say my group twos? Oh my gosh, you're my group ones. I'm so sorry. I do that spiel a lot and I still mess up from time to time. But as I was saying, you've been an absolute pleasure to read for. Thank you for trusting me with your messages. Remember, you are the oracle in your life. Look after your beautiful self. And if this is where we're parting ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Goodbye for now. Hi my group twos, and welcome to your reading. If you recognize this second house astrology arcana card, or arcana of astrology card, then this is going to be your reading with me. A massive welcome. We're asking Spirit, what do you need to hear right now? So this is going to be a guidance reading. I'm going to do my best to offer you clear, specific, and honest messages, but I do recommend that you take notes, write down what resonates, and make a little list of what doesn't right now. It may resonate later, or it may come to you after the reading. Basically, we're going to get straight into it. I want to open a channel between you and I so that I can channel these messages. Spirit, please connect me to my group twos. Please connect me to the energy of group 2 so that I may offer them the most clear, honest messages about their reading today. Thank you, Spirit. Now, group 2, with the second house being here, I feel like what you need to hear right now has a lot to do with your routine, and it has to do with where your focus lies at this stage. The second house's energy feels like it's drawing your attention towards your habits and towards all of the little things that you do in your day and how that's contributing to the bigger picture. This second house energy is reminding us how important consistency is, and that over time, the things that we do on a day-to-day basis lead to long-term results. Spirit's message is about consistency, and it's also about the rewards that consistency can offer. They really want you to take better care of yourself on a day-to-day basis. Your spiritual team is saying, put more effort into looking after yourself daily. This is especially a message for those who care and support others and those who have demanding schedules. The second house could be highlighting the fact that you are going through a busier period in your life right now, or it's time to start taking care of yourself in recovery from a busy period in your life. The second house's energy is alluding towards the fact that you guys may need to start really putting in a plan on how you want to take care of all of the other responsibilities that you feel you've neglected previously. So it's not so much about tackling responsibilities like survival, like paying the bills. It's more about the little things. There's some sort of message here that is specifically focusing on things that you've been procrastinating just because it wasn't the squeakiest wheel. That's what's coming through. It's like, well, it wasn't our top priority. It wasn't the most important thing, so we neglected it. Spirit's saying now is the time to start giving a little bit of your time towards those procrastinations. For some of you, the word projects is coming to mind, but I don't think that's going to be the case for everyone in group 2. The main message here is just stop procrastinating. And you can do that by putting a little bit of your attention and focus and time towards it from your day to day. Now, with all the green on here, I am getting a message about your health, and I don't think you're going to be the only group that gets this message, so you may have messages in another group too. But there is this message here of finding more time to create positive movement. And it's coming through as a physical effort, as a way of connecting to your body and doing something to physically get your body moving. But I do think that for a lot of you, it's not necessarily about exercising. It's about creating like that mind connection to your body, feeling more strong, more healthy. There's an energy here of movement clearing your head. So we're not exercising. We're not trying to achieve, a goal that may be connected to our weight. It's more like Spirit is indicating that this is a chance for you in your daily, or, maybe not every day, but whenever you can, it's an opportunity for you to clear your head, to get away from the noise and to create a purpose. And if that purpose is to simply go for a walk to clear your head, then so be it. But there is this energy that if you've been wanting to incorporate more movement into your day-to-day, then that's the best way that you can do it, is by creating it as a purpose. Not as a task, because then it becomes a procrastination, but as a purpose. Well, I need to go count how many streetlights there are in my neighborhood, so I'm going to go for a walk. Well, I need to go clear my head, so I'm going to go for a walk. Well, I had a really busy day today and I need some time to myself, so I'm going to go for a walk. And I'm just using walking as an example. That doesn't have to be the way that you move your body. It doesn't have to be aggressive, though, is what's being highlighted. It doesn't have to be extraneous. It can just be a little bit of movement at the end of your day. And there is even this energy, like, I don't know, we all live in different parts of the world. Be safe, look after yourself. But I'm seeing like nighttime activities, because there's an energy of peace behind this movement. The purpose is peace. The purpose is time with yourself. And the purpose is to kind of regulate your nervous system. I see you doing this movement as a way of connecting to your body after crazy experiences, busy days, hectic routines, to try to regulate your nervous system, to reduce your anxiety, to reduce your cortisol levels, your stress, and to feel more at peace within your vessel. For some of you, if you resonate with having a very busy routine, there are excess amounts of cortisol in your hormones. In that cortisol is a hormone, but it feels like it needs an outlet, it needs a way of relief. And that's the best way to do it, is by doing mindful movement. So that's what's coming through. Is there anything else before I pull tarot, Spirit? What else does group 2 need to hear? Second house is alluding towards your spending habits as well. What do you want them to know about their spending habits, Spirit? I'm hearing you know. So Spirit's calling you out on what you've been spending your money on recently. Maybe it's time to be a bit more aware, because the word that keeps coming up is mindful. And obviously there's been a lot of social media trends with this word, but like it's really coming through for you. Mindful. Be more mindful about your spending habits. Be more mindful about your self-care. More mindful about your movement. Maybe you just need to slow down, group 2. You just need to slow down. There's an energy of being very much stuck in the grind. You may not feel like you're doing too much, because you probably have done a lot more in your past. You probably had crazier days or busier weeks. But when was the last time you really just slowed down? That's what's really coming through for this group. So if that message doesn't resonate for you, you've probably got messages in a different group. All right, let's pull some tarot. Spirit, for, actually we'll use this deck. For my group 2s, what do they need to hear right now when it comes to the tarot card, Spirit? What does group 2 need to hear right now? We have the Emperor, number 4. What does group 2 need to hear right now, please, Spirit? And we have the 4 of Swords. Okay, so that's interesting. 4 of Swords and the Emperor. What do you need to hear right now? What's coming through the strongest is this energy of rooting yourself, being grounded. The root chakra is coming through very strongly, and Archangel Michael is coming through very strongly. The main messages that I'm seeing is to give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance to feel safe. Give yourself time to feel safe, to feel grounded, and to feel ready. You guys may have some pretty big plans, and you may be here in this specific group because you're preparing for a busy haul. And the way that that's being projected is that this is going to be a good couple of months of busyness. Not just like a couple of weeks. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, where your responsibilities are going to be very demanding of you. And you're going to feel like you really need to stay in control. You need to be accountable, and you need to stay on track. Any free time that you have will be allocated towards rest. And you need to know that the first messages that I gave you when we were just talking about this oracle card that you chose are very geared towards ways that you can prepare for that busy period that is coming up. If you thought you were busy before, it's going to be even busier. And as you prepare for that period, you really need to do what you can right here, right now, to start on a strong foundation. You need to take care of your vessel. You need to sleep more. You need to take care of your diet and your fuel, because food is fuel. We don't talk about diet as in diet culture. Food is fuel. You need to fuel your body sustainably, eating foods that make you feel energized and ready for the tasks at hand. And you also need to be mindful, because the Emperor is asking for discipline. In order to achieve what you want in the short term, which means in the next 12 months, you need to stay disciplined. You need to be accountable. You need to be managing your responsibilities, and you need to do that from mindfulness. I really think with the Emperor being here, your spiritual team is urging for you to work on your foundation, on feeling ready enough, safe enough, secure enough. Start on the right foundation. Now, the thing is, with the 4 of Swords here, although both these energies are talking about the number 4 and this base level, the 4 of Swords is specifically about rest. And there are a lot of different cards that could talk about taking some time out. The 4 of Swords is urging you right here, right now, to rest. Within the next 24 hours of you seeing this reading, take a mindful break. Don't say yes. Don't put more on your plate. Don't give yourself more responsibility. Take some mindful rest within the next 24 hours and listen to what your body is saying. You need to be doing that throughout your journey over the next 12 months, but you need to start that today. I really think that this is preventative. I think that the amount of work that is ahead of you in the next 12 months is reliant upon you taking care of yourself and listening to what your body is telling you. If your body is begging for rest, that's your body's way of needing time to heal. Otherwise, it could get worse. If your body is begging for sleep, again, that's your body's way of needing to heal. Otherwise, it could get worse. And honestly, it can just go on. If you're experiencing more headaches, are you drinking enough fluids? Are you monitoring your sodium levels, your sugar intake? These things disrupt our blood sugar levels, our blood pressure, and can cause headaches. Are you eating enough greens to naturally regulate your blood pressure? And are you taking care of your iron and protein needs, which can also impact your blood levels, thus creating headaches? It's about thinking smarter so that we're preventing any health issues in the near future. Now, aside from that, I just want to say, please consult a health professional. I'm just channeling energy, y'all, and I'm very passionate about my own health and the health of my loved ones, but I did not do any formal training. So make sure you're consulting a health professional, and I would encourage you to get some blood work done if that's reasonable within your healthcare system, as that can be a wonderful way of assessing any deficits and discussing any needs to boost your energy levels, if that's within your realm of belief. I know some people don't believe in needles, they don't believe in science, but I encourage you to do what you can to take care of your health, and blood is coming through very strongly. Your blood work, your blood needs to be healthy. It is kind of like the fuel in your body, and the food that we eat helps to fuel the fuel. Anyway, I sound silly, so we're going to keep going. Coming back to your Emperor energy, again we see the 4, but we see the archetype of the 4. The archetype of a father figure, an authority figure, and of someone who has things under control. What you need to hear right now is that aside from you stepping into these energies, these roles, you also need to think about how you surround yourself with people who can inspire you with the way that they handle their responsibilities. The Emperor reminds us that a big part of success is kind of coming down to the company that we keep. And you may argue that a lot of successful people, have a whole heap of different people around them. But I do think as social beings, even if you consider yourself extremely introverted and antisocial, as social beings, your point of reference, the people who you look to, who you surround yourself with in real life and online, consciously and subconsciously impact your behavioral patterns. And your spiritual team is encouraging you to be more mindful of who you draw this inspiration from. You have the opportunity here to write your own version of an authority figure by observing behavioral patterns of accountability, responsibility, and general authority, implementing that in your own journey. I hope I'm not just using a lot of big words and confusing you, because it's really just coming out. I'm not thinking about what I'm saying. It's just coming out like word vomit, really. But this Emperor energy feels like you... Sorry, my group twos. I had to get up. My alarm went off and it disrupted us. So you know what? I think I'm rambling. I think it's time to wrap up your reading. I feel that whatever I was going to say has already been said, but I do just want to emphasize that you are capable. You have it within you to be successful, and your short-term goals are achievable. You have it within you. It is definitely possible for you to be able to achieve what you put your mind to in the next 12 months. The first and foremost, like the cornerstone of that success, is taking care of yourself and having a strong foundation to operate from, which is your health. So that's all I was really trying to say. I could have said that in way fewer words, but with that being said, let's go ahead and get some more messages for you. So Spirit, for my group 2s, what do their angels and ancestors have to say to them in terms of advice, closing their reading? What do group 2s need to hear from their angels and ancestors? Whoa. Okay. Yes, look what card fell out of this deck. Food, nourishment, relationships, and health. Your angels and ancestors are confirming that picking the second house was very much about your habits. It was very much about things in your immediate environment. It was very much about the things that you are focused on your day-to-day, and the habits that you have surrounding your food, relationships, and your health. So please look after your vessel, look after your mind, and make sure that you have that strong foundation in order to achieve your successes in the next 12 months. Group 2, that is what I'm seeing for you. I'm going to take this into your extended reading now, where we will have a look at the next 30 days. Your extended reading is more of a prediction reading. So we're going to take this energy and have a look at what the next 30 days have to offer you, getting advice, information, and clarity. So if that sounds helpful, and especially if the first part of your reading has resonated, the link to your extended is in the description box and the pinned comment. That link takes you to a page on my website where I host all my groups and the extended readings for each group. So please make sure you click on the right group and the right reading, your group 2 of the What Do You Need to Hear Right Now reading that I posted in, goodness, let me think. This is probably going to be up in November or late October 2024. Double check the title, double check the thumbnail. That is how you will know. Thank you so much, Group 2, for all your time, your support, and your energy right here on YouTube. It has been an absolute pleasure to be your reader. As you move forward in your journey, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy. Look after your beautiful selves until our paths cross again. Bye. Hi, my group 3s, and welcome to your reading. If you recognize the Ascendant card, then this is going to be your What Do You Need to Hear Right Now guidance reading. Now, group 3, we are doing a general guidance reading. My goal is to be precise but concise so that I don't waste I want to say time, but mostly it's energy, to be honest with you. I'm trying to make sure that I have equal amounts of energy for each group. So we're going to be straight to the point. Because of that, I am going to be rattling off a lot of specific themes. And I highly recommend to make the most out of this reading. And to be honest, to make the most out of any reading, take notes, write down what is resonating for you, and make a little list of what doesn't resonate right now, because it may resonate at a later date. So with that spiel out of the way, I want to take a quick moment to connect our energies so that I can channel messages for you specifically. So please limit distractions, focus on the screen and the sound of my voice. Spirit, please tune me into Group 3's energy so that I may offer them clear, honest messages about their reading today. Please tune me into Group 3's energy, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, so what do you need to hear right now? For those of you who chose this Ascendant card, the main thing that you need to hear is that things are improving. The Ascendant card is giving me imagery of an arrow that's pointing upwards. So I can see things improving for you. And I'm hearing the word specifically rising. Things are rising for you. Now, the Ascendant energy is your rising sign. So themes specific to your rising sign could be important for you right now. But at the time that I'm reading for you, it is Scorpio season. And what I'm being shown is a correlation between a transformation to your identity, to the way that you see yourself, and to the way that you see the opportunities around you. This may have felt like a long time in the making, but the goal here is that you're finally getting the opportunity to show others what you felt within yourself all along. We're seeing some subconscious and some subliminal or like hidden themes being broadcasted in a more public way. And there's also a lot of reasons for you to feel proud. I feel like you have people in your life to be proud of, but you have your own self to be proud of as well. I'm getting this energy of you being seen a lot more. You may be engaged in activities or doing things that put you in the public eye a little bit more, that have you in the spotlight a little bit more. The Ascendant energy is talking about you becoming more noticed. And your efforts towards self are being noticed. I'm hearing it's more noticeable now because they believed. So listen, one thing that's coming through, may not apply to all of you, is a specific moment in which you may have been going through some sort of struggle, or you felt like you were stuck in a cycle and you had blind faith that you were doing enough to get through it, to get out of it. But other people may have been trying to give you advice or tell you what to do. You stuck to it, and now you're seeing signs of success. And these signs of success are noticeable to others as well. The other thing that I'm getting is that someone now believes in you. And because you have someone on your side, someone who feels either like a confidant or a mentor, or just somebody who's there as your like supporter, because you have this other person on your side, other people are starting to believe in you too. You have a lot of other people kind of turning their attention towards you as well. Now, the Ascendant energy is not just about your rising sign and yourself and your identity. It's also about how you want to be perceived at times and how you are unconsciously perceived as well. So there is this energy here of you coming across in a way that feels like you have no control over it. And it's actually a really good change. I think people are noticing you to be more confident, or they're noticing you to be more happy. They're noticing positive changes and shifts in your energy with this Ascendant card. Now, is there anything else, Spirit, that they need to know before I pull tarot cards? What else does Group 3 need to know? What do they need to hear right now? I'm hearing you're doing enough. You are doing enough. Things are changing for you. You are doing enough. So there's a strong emphasis on you continuing with your plans, continuing with your efforts, sticking by the commitments and choices that you've already made, and trusting that you're on the right path. You are doing enough is coming through as like a warm hug. A sign of confirmation more than anything. And you need to be able to trust yourself more. Yeah. All right, let's get some tarot out now. Spirit, what does my Group 3s need to hear right now? What do my Group 3s need to hear right now? What do my Group 3s need to hear right now? What do my group threes need to hear right now? Okay, we'll take this card first. We have the Seven of Cups coming out for you first. We also have the Hierophant. And I will take this card as well. We have Justice reversed. Okay, at the back of your deck is the Eight of Wands reversed. Now, I actually did a reading on my Instagram this morning, and the Eight of Wands came out reversed at the back of the deck in part 2 of that reading. So this theme may be connected to that reading. But I do think with the Eight of Wands reversed, your spiritual team is encouraging you to find new avenues when it comes to motivation and to not be too hard on yourself if you do lose momentum. The Eight of Wands reversed reminds us that energy is sometimes something that is a little bit out of our control as natural beings. If we find ourselves losing motivation, momentum, that's completely normal. We can't always be 100% attuned in the sense of we can't always give something 100%. As natural beings, we need periods of rest, and we also need moments to reset. So what you need to hear right now is that you could be in a reset moment. It's important for you to know when to slow down, and it's also important for you to know when you need to make specific choices to conserve energy and to work smarter, not harder. Ultimately, the Eight of Wands for me is about changing a cycle. And with the Eight of Wands being connected to your energy, this cycle needs to change to ensure that we're not burning out and to ensure that we're using our resources effectively and efficiently. Your creative energy and your natural motivation is going to increase if you start working smarter, not harder. The problem isn't that you're not working hard enough. The problem is that you're not using your energy efficiently. Because of that, with the Eight of Wands, regardless of how successful you were in the past, regardless of what methods worked before, you need to accept the fact that you're in a different cycle now. You just don't have the same energy levels. And because your energy levels are low, we need to readjust the way that we're operating. Now, this is a short-term shift. This is like right now, you need to be more realistic. Maybe next week, you'll feel better. Maybe in 48 hours, you'll feel better. But for right now, when you're seeing this reading, don't overcommit yourself. Don't just say yes because you really want to do something, but be realistic about the fact that you're probably going to have a very big day, or you just don't have the amount of energy that you wish you did because you didn't sleep well, or because you had a huge meeting in the middle of the day, or because you just felt that the food that you had for breakfast kind of took a bit of a toll on you. You're a natural being. These things happen. Be realistic. Don't push yourself too far, because what we see is burnout, and we also see physical side effects like sickness take a toll. And this is a quick and simple fix. It's not a permanent problem, but it does require you to be aware and to make effective choices. Speaking of choices, your spiritual team wants you to know that you have options. You don't need to commit yourself to one specific path. And this is coming through in terms of lifestyle choices. You can incorporate more pleasure, more play, more fun. You don't just have to do life on hard mode all the time. The Seven of Cups is reflecting your ability to multitask. It's also reflecting your desire for change. And it's also reflecting a maybe subconscious or even fantasy that wants to be more active. Instead of waiting for the weekend, there are things that you can do more regularly. There are people that you can see more regularly. And there are hobbies or indulgences that you can indulge in more regularly. I don't think indulgences is a word, but it was just what came to mind to explain what I'm feeling. Now, I do think with the Seven of Cups being here, this is a card of pleasure, fantasy, and imagination. Spirit is highlighting that your reality is in your control. Yes, there are certain responsibilities that need to be upheld. Yes, there are certain priorities that need to be at the forefront, but we still have choices and we still have things within our control that can help us alter our experiences for the better, to make sure that we're making the most out of the things that we're experiencing. And the way that that's coming through is your free time, sweet souls. You have a lot more time in your day-to-day routine than what you're giving yourself credit for. Instead of letting that time waste, you could be indulging in some of the things that you only do on the weekend or that you only do on your days off. Your spiritual team is encouraging you to use your imagination and an element of your impulse to make your day-to-day experiences more fun, more pleasurable. There is also a lot of solutions in your daydreams. If you've been daydreaming a lot more, or if you've been having dreams that feel more vivid, this is your spirit wanting and manifesting for more. We don't have to live that exclusively in our fantasies. We can experience that in our reality. And I can see here with the way that this beautiful figure is looking upward, that your spiritual team has a lot of hope. They hope that your fantasies and your imagination inspire you to start making choices that can give you that pleasure in your reality so that you don't just have to imagine it. Your visions, your daydreams, your dreams are trying to inspire you to make choices that bring those fantasies into reality. And that's kind of what we see over here, although this has a different message as well. The correlation between these two cards is that the Hierophant wants you to bring structure and routine into your day-to-day. Not because you should be punishing yourself, right? We don't want to burn out. We don't want to waste energy that we don't have, but we do want to have more balance. And your spiritual team is encouraging you over here to bring more balance into your lifestyle. This reading is especially focused on your present moment, on your past 24 hours and on your future 24 hours. There are certain choices you can make that ensure that your routine is more balanced and healthy. Now, the word healthy, I'm not talking about government guidelines. I'm not talking about the World Health Organization's guidelines. I'm talking about healthy as in what feels good for you, what makes you feel happier, feel stronger, feel more rested. What feels right for you is what I mean by the word healthy. And when we look at your lifestyle, we don't just look at your responsibilities, because certain government guidelines would say that you have a responsibility to take care of yourself and to fuel yourself appropriately. But the Hierophant is asking for you to examine your habits and your lifestyle and how that makes you feel. Because in the next 24 hours, you have the opportunity to make significant choices that could lead to long-term success through consistent habits that can be addressed towards material goals, lifestyle goals, and also well-being goals. In the next 24 hours, I would encourage you to write down what is important to you when it comes to the word healthy, because I'm also seeing financial goals. And you can start in the next 24 hours building these habits, correcting these habits, instilling these habits. Whether it's putting money aside, paying off a debt with this Justice card reversed, allocating enough free time to do something that makes you feel good, putting in additional effort after work to actually de-stress and debrief, so that when you do get home, you're not carrying the weight of what you've done all day with you. This is all about balance though, making sure that one aspect of your life doesn't unhealthily bleed into the other, because that is how damaging habits take toll. If you're too tired after work to fuel yourself efficiently, that is how we get into the habit of picking food that feels convenient but not sustainable. That is how we get into the habit of doom scrolling instead of allocating time towards what we want to do. And that's how we eventually start to feel like our life is sucking the life out of us instead of giving us the opportunity to live. Justice reversed is saying that you have a limited amount of control, but you still have the ability to, within your 24 hours, make certain changes to situations that feel unfair. Especially when it comes to responsibility and commitments, especially if you're feeling like work right now is taking up a lot of your time or other commitments are taking up a lot of your time. The little wiggle room that you do have should be honored as an opportunity for you to feel more balanced. Justice reversed is acknowledging that you need to hear how your lifestyle is a bit unfair at the moment. It's a win-lose situation, and you're setting yourself up to fail through the habits that you have. So we need to address the habits that make us feel like we're losing, so that we can start to feel like we're winning. Even if the wiggle room is really tight, even if we only have 5 minutes before work to get our mindset right, or 30 minutes after work to purge any negative energy before we take it home, or 30 minutes between jobs, 20 minutes in the morning before we have to commute. Whatever it is, you need to utilize your wiggle room to really ground, discharge negative energy, and correct your mentality so that the choices that you're making reflect the person that you want to be, not the person that you feel trapped in being. Now, the other message with Justice Reversed is acknowledging the fact that there are some things that need to change. I think that you have certain commitments that are taking advantage of you. These could be contracts, jobs, they could even be relationships. The Hierophant is begging for you to get a second opinion, to ask somebody for advice or to seek professional help so that you can get someone else to look over things, to read that contract and double check what your responsibilities are. And it's also to validate you and your experiences. With Justice Reversed, this is not a fair situation. You need to hear that you shouldn't have to go through this. You shouldn't have to put up with this, and you shouldn't have to feel trapped in anything. There's a difference between a commitment versus you almost feeling like a slave to a contract or a conditioned being. So with this Justice card reversed, it is time to start seeking the truth in the situation and to get a more objective point of view, which is where a second opinion can help. But if you feel you already have that objective point of view, you need to start planning your way out of it. Out of this contract, out of this situation, out of this unfair commitment. Your spiritual team is encouraging you to seek the truth. Is there anything else my group 3s need to hear before we get some closing advice and move into the extended? I should just highlight, you guys, that your extended reading is focusing more on the next 30 days. A very similar theme of gaining guidance, but focusing specifically on the next 30 days. What you can expect in the next 30 days. We're going to look at themes and we're going to get specific predictions. Is there anything else my group 3s need to hear right here on YouTube though, Spirit? No. We're going to get some advice. Spirit, what does group 3's angels and ancestors have to say to them? What does my group 3's angels and ancestors have to say to them? Okay, I have a card for you, sweet souls. Oh, this is beautiful. Yeah, you're on the rise. That's what they want you to know. You're on the rise. Spring, awakening, projects, renewal. Your angels and ancestors are so proud of you for not giving up on yourself. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. Your angels and ancestors really want to celebrate you and your resilience and your survival spirit. You guys are in a new cycle and you have the opportunity to experience the new growth that you deserve. This is a period in your life which you need to celebrate and enjoy. All those little moments are for you to celebrate and enjoy, however brief they feel. You need to use whatever moments you have to feel gratitude for the work that you've done for yourself and for the joy that you get to experience for yourself, and start relishing in your accomplishes a little bit more. Your spiritual team wants you to know that this is just the beginning. Much like the season of spring, things are still coming into fruition. New buds are still forming in your life and new growth is still forming. There's beauty in that because nothing is set in stone, but there's also a little bit of responsibility in that because you have the ability to cultivate this new growth into the direction that you want it to take. You have the chance here to start fresh and to build some strong, sustainable futures for yourself. The emphasis here is allowing things to come into fruition and continuing to take action towards the projects that you want to see be successful. Follow through is what your spiritual team is telling you. Your angels are giving you signs. They're supporting you and they're directing you on what you should do and on which path you should take. There is minimal resistance. The best thing you can do is continue to follow through. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your ability to be successful. You are in a new period in your life where things are blooming. You have time to slow down and smell the blossoms and enjoy this period for what it is. Don't push yourself too hard. Just come up with a sustainable plan on how you can continue to move forward with whatever energy you have. Now is not the time to push. It is the time to enjoy. So that is what I'm seeing for you, my group 3s. I'm going to end your reading there. We're going to go into your extended reading where I will have a look at the next 30 days of your life. We'll see what comes through. Maybe we're going to see some similar themes. Maybe we'll see some new themes. My goal is to get new information though. I don't want to repeat messages. If we elaborate further, so be it. But for the most part, we're going to get new messages for you. If the first part of your reading has resonated and you would like to join me in your extended, the link is in the description box and the pinned comment below. Thank you so much, my group 3s, for all of your time, your energy, and your support right here on YouTube. It's been an absolute pleasure to read for you, and thank you so much for letting me be a part of your journey. Click on that link to extend your reading. Otherwise, I will connect with you whenever you feel called to click on my videos. Until then, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Goodbye for now. My group 4s, and welcome to your readings. If this 6th house energy, or the 6th house card, looks familiar, then you've picked the right group. You're my group 4s of the What Do You Need to Hear Right Now reading, and I will be doing an extended as well. We'll talk more about that at the end, but your extended is more of a prediction. Your YouTube portion of this reading is having a look at the messages you need to hear right now. So my goal is to be informative, but precise. I want to be very straight to the point, and I want to delve into messages that are helpful for you. So I highly encourage you to have something that you can take notes with so that you're writing down what resonates, and make a little list of what doesn't resonate right now, because it may resonate at a later date. So my group 4s, without further ado, I'm going to get straight into your reading. Spirit, please tune me into my group 4's energies. Please help me to connect to group 4 so that I may offer them the most clear, honest messages for their reading. Thank you, Spirit. So group 4, what do you need to hear right now? We're going to explore the themes of the 6th house first, and then I will pull tarot cards. But having a look at the 6th house, I feel like the themes that relate to you is this energy of timeliness. You need to know that right now, it's very important that you make use of your time and that you don't let other people waste your time as well. The 6th house likes routine and precision. This is being applied to the way that you spend time in the next 24 hours. Because this is a right here, right now, there's something about your routine in the next 24 hours that needs you to be more aware of what you're getting versus what you're giving. Making sure that you're not overdoing it. Making sure you haven't overcommitted yourself. Making sure that other people are aware of their expectations or your expectations of them. And this is especially for those who have an appointment in the next 24 hours. If you have a meeting or an appointment, it wouldn't hurt to just send a little follow-up email or message and just double check that everyone's aware of the expectations, or I'm even hearing the word agenda. Now, for those who don't have like a formal meeting, if you're planning on seeing somebody or meeting up with somebody in the next 24 hours, it wouldn't hurt to just have a look at what you're hoping to kind of get out of that meeting. If it's a very casual meetup, is there anything that you needed to talk to this person about? Whether it's about your relationship with them or whether it's about something else, you're being called to stick to some sort of agenda and to be very thoughtful and specific with your time with this person. The words quality time are coming into mind. So it might be somebody you don't get to see very often, or it might be somebody whose time is literally being charged. And so to make sure that you get the most out of your money, your spiritual team is encouraging you to have a little list of things you want to talk about. Now, outside of that, health is a big part of the 6th house. Health and cleanliness. I'm going to try to intuit how this applies to you, but if not, we'll just see how it comes through with tarot as well. Spirit, how does this apply to my group 4 viewers? Spirit wants you to take care of yourself. You guys may be doing something specific here. The best way that I can describe it is I'm seeing someone debating on whether or not they should brush their teeth because they don't have a lot of time in the morning, whether or not they should wash their hair because they don't have a lot of time, whether or not they should invest money in those vitamins. Spirit is highlighting a message about your health. The quick fixes aren't sustainable for your income and for your health. You got to look into the deeper root of these issues, especially if you're looking for food that can boost your energy instead of having a look at why your energy is low. Like, it's kind of being shown to me as, you know, how you can buy specific drinks that say that they're high in magnesium or high in electrolytes that are supposed to be energy boosters. Spirit saying that's cool, but it's not doing your budget any justice, and it's not a long-term fix. So you need to hear that it's time to look into those things and to find sustainable solutions long-term. That's what's coming through for your health. For cleanliness, I'm being shown a skincare routine or a hair care routine. Now, I don't think this is going to apply to everybody, so I'm not going to dwell on it. But I think it's really important that you stay consistent and that you pay attention to how your skin is reacting. Apparently, that's something that you need to hear for the next 24 hours. And for your hair, don't overthink it. This energy is all about the details. So it's important that you look into what ingredients are healthy for you, are appropriate for you, for your skin type or for your hair type. But you don't want to overthink it. Don't over-invest. Spirit saying the simpler the ingredients, the better. And there is a way for you to take care of yourself on a budget. You don't have to have a bougie bank account to be able to afford to look after yourself. There are sustainable and budget-friendly solutions to taking care of your health. Yeah, something needs to happen with your budget here. Okay, so in the next 24 hours, with the 6th house being here, budgeting may be significant, or just trying to stay on top of a budget may be significant. You may be actively trying to make sure that your spending habits are reasonable with the amount of money that you're making. We seem to be really focused on balance here when it comes to our finances. And the 6th house is making me think of putting details. So you guys may be finalizing a plan here. You may be researching a plan, that doesn't make sense. Researching something. We're not starting anything, we're not finishing anything, we're just balancing it out. We're making sure that we're on track. And Spirit is encouraging you to do your research. Now would be a wonderful time to have a look at whether you can get a more competitive interest rate or monthly premium. But again, you don't need to start anything. You don't need to end anything. It wouldn't hurt to do some research, though. That's what's coming through when it comes to finances. It wouldn't hurt to compare and to do some research. Is there anything else from the Oracle card, Spirit, before we get some tarot cards out? Let's get some tarot cards. Okay, so Spirit, what does Group 4 need to hear right now? What does Group 4 need to hear right now? What does Group 4 need to hear right now, Spirit? Okay. We have the Hierophant coming out for you. What else does Group 4 need to hear right now? we have the Eight of Pentacles coming out for you. And at the back of the deck is the Five of Wands. I'm pretty sure that's all in frame, isn't it? Yeah. We actually have too much room over here, so I'm going to move you over. Okay. So let's talk about that Five of Wands first. With it being at the back of the deck, there's this overarching energy here of what's the word, Spirit? Competitive energy. I was going to say competition, but the word is competitive energy. Please be careful about how much you are comparing yourself, your own journey, and your own experiences to those around you. This message is coming through to remind you humbly that comparison can be the thief of joy. There's a strong energy here of your current experience appearing to be more challenging than it is because you may be under the influence that the grass is greener on the other side, when that's not always the case. I think there's an energy of jealousy around you, and it's not just you looking over the fence and wondering, what other people are doing. It's other people looking over your fence too. So with the Five of Wands, you want to be careful about little things turning into bigger issues because of too many different opinions. And that can come from comparing unhealthily one situation to another. And that can also come from involving too many people in a situation in which you know what it is you need to do. The Five of Wands is encouraging you to come up with creative solutions. And it's also showing you that maybe one of the biggest tests you could have right now is a test of patience, as well as a test of diplomacy. You may be trying to figure out how to be the mediator while also standing up for yourself, while also making sure that other people don't walk all over you. But with the Five of Wands being here, this situation will only get messier if we involve other people's opinions and points of views. It is within your control to take a step back and consider what the best way forward will be. Spirit is indicating that right here, right now, you guys are in a very helpful cycle in which you're kind of in between things at the time that you're seeing this video. There's a strong emphasis on, this video is not here to get you motivated to start something new. You're not stumbling upon this reading to get confirmation that something should end. You're more so here to get confirmation that the road that you're on is going to continue to lead to success. And you definitely need to hear that your hard work will pay off. I think the biggest challenge at the moment is external noise and feeling a little defeated by what other people think of your journey and your experiences. We have a lot of earth energy here in your main tarot cards as well as your oracle card. The Hierophant is predominantly a Taurus kind of based card, and the Eight of Pentacles is a bit more Virgo energy. There's a bit of Capricorn there as well, but the Eight of Pentacles reminds us that the devil is in the details. I think that for your success, and a big part of your message and why you're here, is so that your angels can say, keep doing what you're doing. Keep your head down, keep working hard, stay focused, don't give up. And remember that motivation is not going to help you achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. Consistency is. Being able to continuously do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel, regardless of how much energy you have, is what is going to make you most successful. And that is what you need to hear, right now. Especially with the 6th house in the middle, it reminds us that it's all about balance. We can't always give it our best, and we won't always be experiencing the lowest of the lows. So you need to hear that right now, the best thing that you can do is to stay consistent. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is talking about you continuing a plan that you've already set in place when it comes to your material goals. It's also reminding you to study, for those who need that reminder. I don't think that's going to be applicable to all of you, but don't forget to study. Don't forget to prepare. Don't forget to research. And don't forget to practice. You guys may have a test coming up, or there may be some sort of final exam or something. It's really important that you don't forget to practice and to study. Now, over here with the Hierophant, you're getting confirmation that a career path you've chosen for yourself is going to continue to become successful. However, it may be time for you to get a professional's advice, or to start thinking about ways that you can build on what you already have. The Hierophant is the archetype of the number 5, and it reminds us that certain things require structure, and certain structures need to change in order to continuously become or be successful. In this case, the change is to make sure that you're receiving the wisdom and the information that you need. Now, this is interesting because it's completely intuited. I have no idea what this is in relation to except for your money. I mean, it could apply to something else, but it feels like it's finances. The Hierophant is saying changes need to be made in order for you to continue to be successful while doing something that you've already been doing. It feels like you already have a career path. It feels like you already have some sort of work. And the Hierophant is saying the foundation you have is strong, but we need to build upon it. And the best way to do that is to either continue studying or to get somebody who has studied to review what we're doing and to offer us their professional input. Now, if you did need a sign to look into further studies, this is it. I think it would be very helpful for you to have a look at ways that you can upskill to ensure that you are informed, but to also ensure that you are being paid what you deserve as well. Now, for my self-employed, which is also what the 6th house could represent in some ways, I do think that this message is about you following through with a plan and making sure that you stay consistent. All of these energies are talking about habits, routines, and consistency. It's really important that you follow through. Now, I think the Hierophant with the 5 of Wands is actually saying that you should start taking action on the ideas and the creative inspiration you've gained from your peers. Don't let it fester into envy. Use it as inspiration. If you've been taking notice of what other people are doing, instead of letting it turn into an envious situation where you want what they have, use it as fuel to obtain something similar. I feel like this is a positive way of turning that comparison into a new form of success. But the 2 5s here are highlighting opportunities for change. And those opportunities either come from getting advice from a professional, upskilling through education, or gaining inspiration from a competitive peer. Is there anything else they need to know about their tarot card spirit before we consider closing messages? I just need to remind you that your extended reading is going to have a look at the next 30 days. And now that I've gotten that out, we can continue with your other messages. Sorry, that was a strong push from my spiritual team. It's so silly because I sometimes forget. Okay, what else do they need to know about this energy, spirit? We have progression here. It's something that I didn't point out. We have progress being made. 5, 6, 8, I think that you can achieve your short-term goals quicker than you originally thought. When it comes to material shifts, the habits that you create after this video will show results quite quickly. Now, if you are worried about an upcoming test, preparation is key, and you have plenty of time from when you're watching this video to really put in the work. If you're considering your career and ways that you can expand, advice, as well as sizing up the competition and what other people are doing, is your inspiration. You can use that inspiration to decide whether it's time to change or whether it's time to put in the effort that you want in order to gain the results that you need. Especially if you're in a competitive industry where rewards are offered based on performance. You guys have it within you to gain more if you put in more work. And remember, the next 24 hours isn't about starting something new. It's about preparation, planning, and research. Okay. I don't think I've been talking for very long, but I am going to get you advice now from your angels. Spirit, what advice does Group 4's angels have for them? What advice does Group 4's angels have for them, please, Spirit? Okay. I've got 2 cards, which isn't unusual, but I do want to show you the back of the deck real quick too. We have Dragonfly, Transformation, Magic, and Illusion. The beautiful thing about this card is it's highlighting the fact that the biggest theme in your reading is about change that happens through your actions. It's all within your control, and it's all about making sure that you're focused on the opportunities. That's not exactly what the card is meant for, but that's how it applies to your situation. There's something incredibly beautiful about your message, because the main thing is that you're doing everything right. This isn't a reading that's supposed to make you focus on what you're doing wrong or tell you how to do things differently. It's literally just supposed to confirm the road that you're on and affirm the actions you can take if you want to take them. You still have free will and you're still doing everything right. I want you to remember that. You still have free will and you're still doing everything right. Your angels are here to remind you that right now, the most important theme with Hawthorne is about balance and having a sense of balance in your routine, in your next 24 hours, making sure that you feel in control, making sure that you've done everything you can possibly do, and relieve yourself of the anxiety you may experience if you're hyperfixating on the things you can't control. The best way you can relieve that is by reminding yourself that you've already done everything that you could possibly do, especially if you have a big meeting or a big appointment in the next 24 hours. And then with Violet here, Spirit is really calling for you to draw upon your spiritual beliefs or your religious beliefs to help keep your energy balanced. The next 24 hours could be very important, but it's really just a drop in the ocean that is your experience on this earth. And I feel like your angels want you to remember that you are the oracle in your life. You are a sovereign being. You are powerful. You are magical. You contain all the power you need to be able to cultivate the reality that you want. But you don't have to achieve that in 24 hours. You can achieve that with time. And honestly, the words wisdom are really coming to mind here. There's something about what you're doing that is exactly what you need to do, and I feel like you need to give yourself more credit for that. the words wisdom are being kind of referenced in my mind to the actions that you're taking. Even though the Hierophant was indicating maybe a professional could help you, I feel like you guys are actually very well informed. You have a beautiful head on your shoulders, and you've done everything that you can to be exactly where you need to be right now. So your spiritual team is really encouraging you to ground your energy, to center your energy, to remind yourself of what is in your control. And if there's anything that you can do, do it. But do it from a place of certainty, not desperation. My gosh, I feel like I'm just saying the most random things. I hope that's helpful. Sweet souls, that is what I have for you. I'm sorry to cut it there, but I'm gonna have to, because that is all I'm really getting for you. I feel like I'm gonna end up repeating myself if I continue. So we're gonna end it there. I'm gonna take this into your extended reading, where we'll have a look at the next 30 days. Now, the next 30 days, I'm gonna hope to elaborate on the themes that we read today, but I'm also just going to leave it open. We're going to see what major themes come through for you, and we're going to let Spirit take the wheel. The goal for this extended reading is to help you feel more informed of what is to come, remembering that you have free will, so that you can use this information to create the actions and choices that you need to in order to create the reality that you want. So that extended reading will be linked in the description box and the pinned comment. It is for the next 30 days, a prediction reading. And if the first part of your reading has resonated, then there is likely to be messages in that extended for you as well. Group 4, I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me read for you and for helping me be a part of your journey by supporting this channel and what I do here on YouTube. It's been an absolute pleasure to exchange energy with you. I hope that this message was confirming more than anything, and I hope that you feel more informed of what you're doing. Although I do feel like I was just kind of talking to a guru who kind of knows what they're doing anyway, but it was a pleasure to meet your acquaintance or to cross paths with you again. And until our paths do cross another time, I wish you peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, success, prosperity, and joy, as well as abundance. Look after your beautiful self, and bye for now.